Good morning, viewers. Thank you very much for watching Punchline Africa Television, broadcasting from the Political Command Center, miles away from Miriam in Nairobi. Good morning, Miriam.
Doc, a very good morning to you, and good morning, good evening, good afternoon to our viewers, wherever they're watching us from today.
Yes, across the globe, thank you very much, Miriam. Across the globe, we are being watched live on this show, the only television station south of Sahara, which will be bringing the Bumpy road towards elections 2022 in Kenya. We shall be doing this once in a while in a week to find out how bumpy, murky the mess might be. Will the elections be messy? The end result might be very messy. And the way we have been talking in your first show, I think even the conclusion that Tawish made, to me, I have concluded there will be a bumpy road indeed towards 2022. Will there be people who will be disqualified? Are there people going to be disqualified? Is there a need to disqualify some people? Are we going to adhere to the Chapter 6 of the Constitution of Republic of Kenya that once you are allegedly mentioned, you should step aside and wait until you are cleared? Are we following the laws? Have we taken the curricular report in totality? Or we have ignored the curricular report, who told us that if you do something like this again in the future, what happened in 2007, 2008 will be just a holiday. They are the one that will happen if you tamper, if you don't set up an election, you will have a bumpy, rough war, not a wedding. Thank you very much. Good morning, Sharon Gitonga.
Thank you very much, Dr. Matanga, and very good morning to you from the Political Command Center, Miriam, and my colleague panelists, Samuel Tawish and Daniel Wesonga, and to all our viewers who are watching us, whether it's their morning, afternoon, or evening in Kenya, Africa, and the globe. It is a pleasure to be part of this show. Good morning.
Thank you very much. Sharon, you talked quite a lot. I saw you breathing fire on this question of people that we talk in, day out, everything we do. They come, they do, they lie. Is this election going to be smooth? Wesonga, my dear Daniel, we have been here and talked about it. Reserve your comment. Just greet the people and tell them that it is or it is not. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much, Dr. Masanga David. And indeed, good morning from where we are today. It is morning, and it is my pleasure to be on this conversation this morning. Good morning to my good brother Tarisho Lesasina. Good morning to my fellow panelist Sharon Gitonga and my colleague Miriam Ogutu, coming to us live from Nairobi.
Thank you very much. Good morning, all of you. Let's begin, Tawish, and let's begin, Miriam, let's begin, Gitonga and Wesonga, with a video that comes from, Stephen, I've sent you that video from Farah Malum, who was speaking on TV 47. I don't know whether you have seen it. Let's listen to what he told. If you have not seen it, I don't know whether I should send it now. You can as well raise your hand also. Then I can send it to you. Let's look at that video that can tell you whether we are in the right. Do you have it? I don't know whether you have it, Stephen. Okay, thank you very much, Stephen. The video is there now for you. I had thought I had sent it to you, but here it is as we go on medium. Do you think this road is smooth? Do you think there is? You have some facts down there as Stephen brings the video. Do you think is it worth an election? We saw Raila Amolo Odinga coming out powerfully, sticking on the question of uniting Kenyans. Why is this word unity flowing everywhere? And somewhere in one party, nobody has bothered about unity. Do you think there's really a good preparation for this election, Miriam?
Well, Doc, from what we've been seeing, even reading from the newspapers and on our, news, as we see how the IEBC and some of the things that IEBC has to fight. As we speak right now, the chairperson of the IEBC has a case to answer in the court because of what happened in the last elections we had. So he has to fight that. And also we've seen the tendering process that has now been, surrounded with a lot of, issues as we speak right now. So even as we ready ourselves to the next year's election, I think there are issues that has to be addressed. So I don't know, from Kenyans and what I've been hearing Kenyans talk about, do we have enough time to even prepare? If IEBC has to deal with these issues, and also Chebukati, whose future as the chair of the IEBC is not really, we don't know where that sits. We don't know how the court perhaps will decide on that because his position is being challenged from the bungled elections we had last year. Kenya has gone to the court and said he should be indicted. He should go to jail for 6 months because of contempt of court. He's refused to tell us to open the servers, which is one of the requirements from that ruling that was made in 2017. So we're waiting to see what really this will mean for these elections, even as we move forward. And now, and I think the questions that were raised earlier by Sharon and also by Tawish, if the deadline for the political parties to submit the nominations and whatever it is that was required of them already arrived, why does Chebukati find a need to put an extension? And why is Chebukati not telling us which are some of the parties that have failed to meet some of these requirements? Why is there a cover-up? What is going on? So we need to know. So I think a lot is at stake here.
Thank you very much, Miriam. You have done it precisely very well. There is a lot to meet the eye here because surely the man is even telling us that we shall be having a new round of voters. How will you incorporate these voters in the voters register? Are we not in a mess? Are we not in a quagmire state? How do you tell me that you are going to have the voters register ready for viewing with the new voters that you are going to get in January? And yet people are supposed to resign from their posts by February. Samuel Tawish, my brother, you have been there. We have been there together. Is this an election? This is a bumpy road towards election 2022. And the government, the people of Kenya, the judiciary, and everybody is watching as we prepare our entry towards, do you call it Damascus or Jerusalem? Shall we reach Damascus and then turn back to Jerusalem? I don't see the route going to Jerusalem at all. I see us going every day. Somebody is challenging Wafula Chebukati. But Mr. Wafula Chebukati is gone ahead already. Even he paid some money, deposit, for the printing of your ballot papers from Greece. Yet the government printer in Kenya is more reliable than the person printing your ballot in Greece. Jermaine, is this road bumpy or not? Tawish.
Indeed, Dr. It's a bumpy road towards 2022 general election because for the simple reason, as a country, I do not think we are quite prepared. We aren't adequately prepared to conduct that election. No, it's not IBC, it's not about the ordinary people. Everybody else seems like they are not quite prepared. And all of us are living in denial because when you talk about preparedness towards a general election and you have an IBC, the institution which is supposed to referee this election appearing to be very, very confused, appearing to be giving conflicting statements every other elapsing day, it does point to the direction that we are not very, very prepared. You remember it is this very Chebukati who told us in the run-up to 2017 general election, I cannot quite remember when was that, but somewhere around that election period, that his commission and himself is not ready and prepared, and they cannot guarantee Kenyans a free, fair, and credible election. Only for him to come and again conflict his own words and statement and say IBC is prepared again just after a week. So you cannot quite understand how can a man who just the other day said he is not prepared to conduct the election come up after a week and say I'm prepared. And it's that election that saw us actually go up to the Supreme Court. It is that election that saw the victory of President Uhuru Kenyatta being overturned. The same election that Chebukati said he wasn't quite prepared to oversee. And here we are again. We have complained about Chebukati's incompetence and of course a lack of that credibility to oversee this very, very critical exercise. But it has become more of like a song. Nobody is doing anything in as far as making sure that we have a credible institution, that which every Kenyan really can trust and say, regardless of who wins the coming election, regardless of how it is going to pan out, your expectations are not going to be met, that by the end of the day, we can shake hands and say it was a fair play. But as it is now, we are concentrating, people are very busy campaigning. They are not very busy in ensuring that we have a credible institution in place, that we have people who are above reproach, people of credibility, people of competence. I'm one person, Dr. Masanga, and I think we have been very consistent on this, that you cannot just have individuals being patched up at the IBC. This is an institution that we should have had a total overhaul before we think of even having an election. It is not about just bringing people to replace those who exited the IBC, and they think that we have a commission in place. In any case, Dr. Masanga, and we have always argued this, how come that we are not even listening to Kriegler recommendation in as far as having a free, fair, and credible election in terms of adequately preparing for an election that is not going to bring us, is not going to end in chaos like it was in the previous elections. We should have had even IBC in place about 2 years before elections. So we even push them to the tasks that come about with this institution. But here you have an IBC, which you have just patched up for the sake of it, just filling positions, and without quite understanding that these people needed so much time, adequate for that matter, to prepare for this very, very critical institution. We are not even very sure if there's enough collegibility in terms of the commissioners themselves. Is Chebukati and the new commissioners who are in place, are they reading from the same script? Are they really working together seamlessly, or are they having infights? So until things go haywire, Dr. Masanga, is when we begin regretting and thinking that maybe we should have done something differently. But it is too costly, Dr. Masanga, to just allow this election to take place in August without looking into the preparedness of IBC for us to begin regretting, for us to begin trying to mend where things have gone wrong. And most of the times it is gotten to very bad levels where people kill each other, where we end up in courts because people do not trust the outcome of this election by virtue of the people who are refereeing it. So I want to submit, Dr. Ray, that indeed IBC, as it's currently constituted, is not adequately prepared to oversee this election. We may have to rethink and say, can we have more time so that these people can acquaint themselves to the responsibility and the duties that is before them? Can we have to postpone the election so that, say, we remove Chebukati, because there are so many petitions, even as we speak today. How about tomorrow after the election, someone goes to the court and said, I had already placed a petition, of course, wanting Chebukati to be removed from that office. But because we ignored, because we assumed, we said, let's have an election after all. There's not going to be any problem. So I want to submit, Dr. Ari, that Chebukati should not be the man to be at the helm of IBC. We should not have those commissioners who are there in the first place really overseeing this election, because they are not going to read from the same script. They're not going to work together seamlessly. Even those who have come in now, they were out when looking at IEBC and how they bungled the previous election. So how can we have confidence and say Chebukati and the current IEBC commissioners can oversee as that particular election? So Dr. Masanga, I submit, this is not a commission that must oversee this election. Chebukati must be shown the door the earliest time possible so that Kenyans can have a free, fair, and credible election come August next year.
Thank you very much, Tawish. You have explained and you have ably brought out the difficulties, the obstacles, the challenges. These are the things that we are looking for. But it seems it is only us seeing these things, Miriam and Tawish. It is only us on this television station who are seeing these obstacles. The rest of the television station, the media, the role of the media. I want to bring in Sharon here. Has the media amplified the difficulties of a bumpy road towards 2022? Is the media simply parading people, politicians, MPs to their television stations? Because I've watched most of the media stations and the key stations in Kenya. I've not seen, seriously, editors, we as the Fourth Estate, bringing out people and questioning them. You are talking of preparing for 2022, but have you seen this obstacle 1, obstacle 2, obstacle 3, obstacle 5? As Kurigina report was saying, experts have told Kenyans that don't touch a ballot again. Don't try to do anything that could be worse than a wedding. See, here we are, Sharon. Are we doing enough? Is the government doing enough? Are the MPs doing enough? Is the judiciary watching? People are going. You needed one ordinary man to go to court. He's in court. What will the court say? It will look at, people are looking at a fixed date. Have you seen the jumbo judge here? The jumbo jambula here is Miriam. People have looked at the date, 8th of August. Every Kenyan talks of 8th of August. We must have a new president, or 10th. But you are not looking how you reach there. Sharon.
Thank you very much, Dr. Matanga, and of course, sentiments that have been shared, before by my colleagues. And I agree largely, especially, before I get to the question of the media, if I could backtrace on what my colleagues have talked about, how IEBC, failed to plan. And right now, we are actually planning to fail. And I think, the IEBC, had enough time to actually plan some of these things that we are actually seeing right now. When you talk about the numbers that were not met and now planning to do, a repeat of the same, yet, they failed, conducting the civic education and, calling it right now. I don't think this is actually going to, change up anything, talking about them leaving, a very crucial, committee that is a multi-sectoral agency at a time where, everyone is looking at the aspect of transparency and accountability. So right now, hearing them not wanting to be associated with this, and like what we've always said, that, election is not a one-day off event. It is a process. It is a process, to build up a legitimacy and a process to build up trust and confidence that has been eroded over time. So IEBC sitting at the helm of the leadership has, deliberately failed us. And, like you always say that, a bad election is equivalent to war. And these are some of the things that probably Kenyans really need to look into. And, just like Tawish has said, show him the door, because we cannot, do the same things and expect, different results come 2022. Now, coming to your question about the media, and I believe most of these media stations are, they seem to read from a certain, a certain script of a certain, political person, and it's quite unfortunate because I was even seeing, MP Kimani Ngunjiri saying how, on Friday there was so much chaos and disasters and fracas in Kasarani, getting to a point of saying that cars, mirrors were even destroyed, and I kept wondering, where was this? Because where we didn't even see this in the media. We didn't see it actually being shown anywhere. So at the end of the day, I think even media stations need to be very cautious in reporting facts and not just reporting anything because a certain politician has paid a certain money. They say in the business of news, facts are the currency. So we have to look at the facts before any other propaganda, because you understand in this day and era, a news even spread faster than light. So we need to get facts being brought forward and not speaking a certain language of a certain politician simply because he has paid up money for that. So be as it may, I think I'm also trying to get optimistic, looking at how the situation in 2018 and now this situation is, and giving some credit to the handshake and how much peace and tranquility that it has brought out, it has brought about. I remember the former Prime Minister on Friday talking about, when he was talking about the mountain, and he said that the mountain has to be very bumpy for you to scale it. And now I believe that he's going to be able to scale it, looking at how the bumpy situation is, and, how they say that, the difficult roads are the ones that always, breed and bring about, take us to the great destination. Because right now what we are speaking about, the common subject is the unity of purpose. The only thing that probably we need to do is get, rid of the commissioner, from the helm of the leadership, and probably the rest of the things are going to flow now that, most, if not everyone, but most of us are speaking, one language, and that is the unity of purpose. And that is what the country needs much more than anything. And then maybe, like I said, I'm trying to be optimistic that, once we get rid of, Wafula Chebukati, who knows, we are going to see the promised land. You heard him talk about how now they were, this time it's not just for ODM, but, for more people, that their time they actually saw crocodiles, and that's why they decided to, put up a bridge so they can have more people coming in. So for me, I'm trying also to be optimistic regardless of the bumpiness of, regardless of the bumpiness of, the election come 2022, given that we have one common purpose that we're all speaking about. But now the major thing is to work, towards getting rid of, Wafula Chebukati, that has proven, over time that he's not able to, conduct a free, fair and credible election come 2022. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Wesonga, she has laid down a case. We have seen all these things. We've talked about them, Medium. We continue talking about them, Tawish. Daniel, are we the only strangers in town? Are we the only people in Jerusalem? We look like strangers. Because everybody that I see coming to the national TV in Kenya is not talking about whether these elections are well prepared or not. They are talking about UDA, how we shall run the government, how we shall do this. Which government are you going to run if elections are not well prepared? But I think when Songa give your views, then Stephen can line out the clip for everybody to see why I am most worried, man, about the Kenyan election. If intellectuals of this caliber can think like the way this gentleman was thinking. Wesonga, give your views.
Yes, thank you so much, Dr. Masanga David. And of course, I've listened keenly to Tarwish Samuel's submission. I've listened to Sharon Gitonga's submission, as well as your opening preamble on this particular topic. And I'll say that perhaps we are the only visitors in Jerusalem, because this television station has been known for quite a long time for preaching about peace, unity of purpose, and the redemption strategy. And let me tell those who are interested in taking power or maybe succeeding President Uhuru Kenyatta after his term that ends in August 8th, 2022. Like you've said, there is no leader who can lead over a dead people or maybe a collapsed nation. So for them to have a nation to govern, then they must ensure that we have peace, a peace that will be able to sustain people, a peace that will preserve a nation as one unit and unite its people towards a common agenda. And perhaps that is why, Dr. Masanga, we always emphasize on this much sought after peace and unity, because they have to know that even those who are in UDA, those ones who are in ODM, without peace, they cannot be a nation. And without a nation, there can never be a president. So for us, I think peace has been the clarion call of this particular station. And just like you, Dr. Masanga, sometimes I wonder when these media stations actually invite individuals who, instead of propagating peace, who instead of propagating facts and the data that we have on our statistical agencies, they go there to haul insults at the president. They go there to derail the Big Four agenda. They go there to derail the legacy of the president. And they go there to actually utter at our utmost disbelief derogatory terms that actually take these nations apart. Today, if Bonnie Halwale goes to a particular local radio TV station and talks about the deputy president as if he were an angel, you really wonder if this is the same Bonnie Halwale who years ago was asking the deputy president to actually declare where he got his wealth. When you hear people like Murkomen talk about the government doing this and that, you actually wonder, are these the same person, the same people who are talking about the wonders the Jubilee government has done over the period of the 8 years that has been in power? The deputy president is also a classical example, Dr. Masanga, of a man who speaks from the both sides of his mouth. Today, he might be in a certain region where he will be actually derailing and talking bad about the legacy of the president. But he has this penchant of going to Mount Kenya region and talking well about the projects that the president has done and actually taking credit for them. He'll tell people about how many kilometers of railway they have connected the country. He'll talk about how many households they've connected to the electricity. He'll talk about how many roads they have been able to tarmac across the country. But when he goes to other parts of the country, like the coastal parts or western parts of the country, he'll talk about how Jubilee government has failed, how the handshake and the BBI derailed the legacy projects and all that. So to me, I think the media giving them such a precedence, it actually derails the unity of the country. It derails the good work that the president is doing through delivering his Big Four agenda. And thank you so much, Dr. Masanga David, for always being the embodiment of truth and facts. They say that when you say the truth sets you free. And that is what you have been doing all through. And George Orwell wrote and said that for a nation that is moving away from the truth, you'll always find most people actually hating on those people who choose to stand with the truth and talk about truth. And that is what has been happening. You realize even today on social media, when you're talking about the legacy of President Uhuru Kenyatta, you'll have people coming up with all falsehood and factoids trying to dispute this truth. But the media does not actually come and correct and set the record straight. And that is what Sharon Gitonga said, that in this era where information actually travels faster than sound, we need to have the media houses and the media fraternity in all actually committed in ensuring that they set the record straight. In 2016, the US went to the polls and actually Hillary Clinton lost to Donald Trump, because it was perceived there was a lot of falsehood which was actually wrecking the media space. In most countries across Europe and across Middle East, we've been having coups d'etats, we've been having mayhem simply because of misinformation. And the media ought to have played a bigger part in making sure that they set the record straight and they make the people know whatever is happening. Today, the country is at the brink of actually losing its history because William Ruto and a few individuals in Tangatanga do not want our young children, our millennials, the people who are born post 2000, to know about what happened in history. What is the role that the media is playing? The media is not telling the people that in 1992, our people went into post-election violence. In 1997, the same thing repeated. In 2007, 2008, we had the worst of it. The media is not talking about that. It's not trying to bring that into the conversation. And that is why it is so quiet about this particular topic of unity. It's so quiet about this particular call for the BBI to unite the country, to bring the people on a common path of peace, prosperity, and unity of purpose. I believe, Dr. Matsanga, the media has failed in this country. And if they do not watch their moves quite correctly, then we are bound to repeat the same mistakes of post-election violence that happened in 2007, that happened in 1997, and what happened in 1991, which is very, very unfortunate. So to me, it is a clarion call to the media to raise up to the occasion and be able to be advocates of truth, what is expected of the media world over. I submit.
Thank you very much. Colleagues, let's just look at the video now. It is ready. I've been told it is ready, but as you speak now, the High Court in Kenya has ruled that all unvaccinated Kenyan citizens should access government services. There you are. I was writing a letter last week to save the president, to save the government. I was. And the media, I think you read my letter. My letter was very clear. Did you read my letter, Miriam? I was trying to write to save the government, to tell the government, to tell Mr. Kagwe that, let's be honest, not to say to stop, because it is being done everywhere in the whole world. People are being stopped. You can't go, for example, in Britain without a certificate on your phone. You can't enter and eat food in a restaurant. But I was saying to Kagwe, be careful. These medicines, for example, take someone who was vaccinated in September or November, he's waiting for the second jab after 6 weeks. Now, do you deny that somebody a room in the hotel? Surely, when he uses Zeneca, Oxford, Zeneca, which is, you have to take 2 of them. It is different from that. So the minister should have clarified. The minister should have said, those who are on Zeneca and you have got 1 jab, you can now, and waiting for the second one, you can show your bunch number, which comes on the phone. And you can go in the hotel and sleep. But those who are not vaccinated now, go and get your Moderna or Pfizer or whatever, Johnson and Johnson. Those are 1 jab, 1 go. That, I think Johnson & Johnson is 1 go or 2 twice. Those ones are 1, 1, 1, 1. Unapata moja moja unaenda. But you see, the problem here is that some of these ministers were very good people before they became ministers. But when they reached there, I have a typical example of a man called Kinufia. He used to talk to me on a daily basis. But when you ring Kinufia now, he can't pick your phone number. He's just an assistant small minister of sports. He can't. He can't pick your phone. Even when you are trying to tell him, this is the bad way you are handling this. But this is a man who used to call me on every day, trying to say, oh, boss, oh, you are the head, you are our leader. How does politics go? Look, he reached in power. He started doing different things. Me now, I'm fed up with this type of people.
But sorry to cut you, but on the vaccination, I think what CS Mutahi Kagwe said when he was giving that directive was that as long as you have proof, even if you've just had the first jab, as long as you have proof of that in form of a text message or whichever way, you can be allowed to access, these facilities. So I think there was...
My dear Miriam, have you seen what the hotels have written? Have you seen what the hotels have written? Do you have a letter from make a booking in a hotel today? Have you seen what the Nakumat, or from 21st, you might not enter Yaya Center. They are not talking of you have proof. The hotel have said, if you have proof of fully compliance, then at the gate, even your car will be allowed to enter the gate. I have a letter, I can bring it here, but I don't want to show where my hotel, where I will be. Miriam, I have a proof that the hotel has said you must have a certificate of compliance.
Yeah, Miriam, I also saw Sarova Hotels actually issued a statement on Friday. They said for you to actually access any of their hotels countrywide, you have to provide, full certificate of vaccination.
Yes. So that's why I decided to book my holiday to Hyatt Hotel in Dar es Salaam, which was formerly Kempinski. Nikwe Dar es Salaam. Nchi yetu uko Tanzania mzalendo. That's the best I can do. That's where I will be. To avoid, not because I have all the certificates. I can go anywhere in the world. But what about people who have 6 people in a family? And you have booked a full package in one of those hotels, like a Sarova. Miriam niambie kweli, ukweli. 3 of them are not vaccinated. Tell me how you are going not to create domestic violence at this hour. Yes, because it is breaking families. I was only trying to tell my friend Mutahi Kagwe that I cannot go to court to accuse the government of Kenya because the courts will rule in favor of against the government. Now someone has already gone to court, and the courts have just announced right now that all unvaccinated Kenyans can access every government institution. So you have to grant to appeal. By the time you appeal, that means the 25. Why did you waste people's time and the logistics? How many hotels have lost money returning? How many businessmen, small enterprise businessmen who supply tomatoes, cabbage, carrots, everything to these hotels? Watu wanaharibia President Uhuru jina na legacy yake. Yes, we have to be frank now. This disease is not a joke. It can come. When it comes every day. Hey, and the people here in Kenya should not take it lightly. I'm now speaking Ugandan English of Museveni. They should not take it lightly. For us in Uganda, we have draconian laws that if you don't obey in it, we arrest you. Yes, we arrest you. We have just arrested. We have just blocked Uganda news coming in from Uganda right now. Mr. Chagulanyi, the leader of opposition, has been blocked from going to campaign because he they say he will spread COVID. One.
So Doc, how would you have advised the government to encourage more Kenyans to get vaccinated? Because I was watching another news last night.
I was coming. Yeah. I am fully behind the decision to deny some people the right to access to some places. But I'm also cognizant of the fact that Jesus was born in December. That King Herod and the kings who were there when Jesus was born relaxed certain rules, even if they did not believe. Miriam, you're a Bible reader every day. You remember in Jerusalem, in the Jewish state, there was even a holiday. There were even people were allowed to go and follow the star. People were allowed to go and see who is this born. So what Mutai Kagwe should have known that, one, there are certain things that you can do at a certain place, at a certain time. I teach political science. There is one factor in political science that every minister, every administrator should put in the head, unless you did not go to a good university. And that factor is called what, Miriam? What that factor is called what? Guess. Just guess it.
I know it's timing, Doc. I know it's timing.
Exactly.
But this is a matter of, this is not politics.
No, I'm coming. I wanted to convince you. It's a matter of death. It's a matter, it's the disease. There are so many ways. There are so many ways in Kenya we can block this disease. Yes. There are so many ways. Block South African Airways from coming here. What are you getting from South Africa? It's the origin of the disease. Temporarily block them. The other time I told you, 3/4 of people coming from South Africa have forged documents. And I'm right. When I talked about it here, the minister heard my speech and ran and put a document verifier. Yes, there was no, if you come from an international flight in Kenya, there is no document verifier. You find a very tired, small, younger girl asking you, do you have your paper? What did you, excuse me, don't annoy me this morning, excuse me. Do you have a paper? You show somebody, because you have come from London, Miriam, you show a paper. Nobody verifies that paper. People are stealing papers, fake PCRs. They are fake, especially from South Africa. I'm telling you, I went to the airport to pick a friend, a business friend from South Africa. 2 of them. We had a meeting here. I told them no. Do you know, I told the office of up there of the health agency, please, even take them to Mama Lucy Hospital. Yes. They were talking, you know, they were talking of getting a document. I had on the phone, oh, can you now process that document and send us to you and go to my office to go and collect some. David, to put myself to meet you. I told them, you are not going to meet me. This son of man from the mountains of Elgon will lie, you will not meet me. Even if it was a business to do what, I refused. So South African, take it from me, 3/4 of documents of PCRs from South Africa are fake. People pay, they get the PCR. Kenyans' PCRs are not, you can't fake them. People tried to fake, they couldn't fake anymore. That's why they are intercepted, Miriam, in the, we have diverted because this is a very important thing. How are we going to do a Bumpy election? When we have even the disease here, that is one of the factors I was going to bring. An election which is prepared under disease, which is mutating every day. It is changing positions. Not that we want the government, we want people to be vaccinated. But let's look for proper ways of vaccination, of getting them vaccination. You either say, one, you cannot say you are not supposed. You see what the minister was announcing to us. He said it is not compulsory. Then you have, why did you come to waste our time with our saliva? If you are reading the act and then you read and say, by the way, it is not compulsory, then you have killed the first statement that you made. Isn't it so, Miriam? Can you write an essay like that to Matanga? I stupidly, I could mark you. I swear, I mark exams. And I want you to hear me. I will give you 0000, even 10 zeros. Because you have lost your argument. There was no need of the minister telling us it is voluntary. Just make a statement. And that's why some people wish Moi was here. Moi says, I'm sorry. Kutoka leo, mtakunywa maziwa ya baba. Wesonga did not drink maziwa ya baba. Miriam, you must have drunk a bit of maziwa ya baba.
All of my primary school, I did drink maziwa ya nyayo. But no,
yes.
By the CS,
but that was, no, I am finishing. That was exactly the medium. That is what is supposed to be. But when you now issue a statement that kunywa maziwa, then you say maziwa could be very poisonous. You are not forced to drink it. You think people will go out and drink? Yeah, bring your point now.
Doc, before Miriam comes in.
Before you
okay.
I mean, sorry. I think by CS Mutahi Kagwe saying, it's not compulsory, I think he was looking at the legal aspect and he was trying to avoid the legal hurdle now that, for some Kenyans to go to the court and challenge that directive. And they said it's not compulsory. However, if you want to access government services or government premises or these other institutions, then you have to, get vaccinated. However, it's not compulsory, but this is what you have to do if you have to access. So I think he was trying to avoid the legal hurdle part of it, so that it doesn't look like he's forcing Kenyans to go and, be vaccinated.
Yeah, that is okay. But I told you, I was telling Mutahi Kagwe as a friend, an open letter, that changing the tactics. Miriam, when a hotel writes to you that if you don't have full compliance, even the gate, when you have flown from Mexico to Nairobi, the gate of the door will not be open. Stupidity, wapi. The hotel has written to you, no, to Ambiane Ukweli. The hotel has written to you that if you show your certificate of full compliance at the gate, isn't it what it says in one of the hotels? What did it say, madam? Getonga?
Yeah, you cannot access any of the facilities without vaccination.
So,
and given that this is actually one of the biggest hotels in the
Kenya,
country,
it has got branches everywhere.
All over.
Masai Mara, people have booked. Now, There are two ways that it is good this topic has come. Let's all of us talk about it now. Suspend the Bumpy Road. How are you going to?
This is a bumpy road, Doc. This is still a bumpy.
Yeah. How are we going to find one thing, Miriam? From this that gate man, the song here at the gate, with your phone, that you see, even I can get a friend can even send me the text message showing that I'm vaccinated. Tumbi does these things. Then you see Tumbi steals your phone, changes the text, the SMS. What's wrong? Am I wrong? And they can send the SMS to say you have been vaccinated. Then you enter with a disease. You are going to kill so many people there. This method.
Yes, you are very right, Doc, on that.
Look, I am not against. I want people to be vaccinated, and I will support it fully because I have suffered. I've seen relatives go down. I've seen relatives. I've seen people, friends perish.
Doc, before you proceed, I had a question on the same. I was just saying that the president of South Africa has, tested positive of COVID-19 even after, having gone through, the entire process of vaccination. And also, I also had a friend who's currently on isolation, even after having been vaccinated, twice. So my question was about the effectiveness or, is there a need of getting into a booster jab? And also, how do we, build about the notion and myths and misconceptions that have been built about, that you can still get, that you can still get COVID even regardless of, having been vaccinated fully. And given that now we are headed towards the period of our festive season and everyone is traveling and people have somehow, forgotten about the MOH guidelines that were put across and, going by the fact that they have now fully been vaccinated, they can, they can go about, a business as usual.
Let me tell you, if I were the Minister of Health, in fact, I am worth I can't even run a government policy. You know what I would do? Category number 1, fully vaccinated. Allow the hotel to get one wing of the fully vaccinated people to stay. Big hotels like Serena, Sarova, at the coast, the Pride Inn, they can separate the fully vaccinated and half vaccinated. Those with one jab. Prepare food for those who are half vaccinated and prepare another banquet for the fully vaccinated. That's okay. In the hotel and manage the usual standards protocols. The hotel, even if we do all this, medium, the bottom line remains within the hotel to maintain cleanliness, to make sure that if a room has been occupied by somebody, before another occupant goes in, that room should be sanitized fully. Give that to the hotel, so the hotel, which is taking your money, huge amounts of money. It's not simple money now at the moment. I'm telling you in the name of God. It's not simple money. Hayat in Dar es Salaam, where I'm going, is telling me an amount that I cannot believe. I can't say it here. But the best thing is that I'm a member of the Hayat. What is that card called? The card for points. Yeah? There is a card that you show. Travel card, when you have a card and the points are accumulated. By this, it was
a loyalty card.
What is it called?
A loyalty. Is it a loyalty card?
Yes. Royalty card. Yo, it reduces Miriam. It reduces my accommodation per day from $350, which is 35,000 US dollars, Kenya shillings, to 211 pounds, dollars per day. In it's not a prime room, deluxe room, and then promoted to a higher room. I'm now teaching this. You see, allow the managers, go deep on the managers. The disease does not come. We come with the disease. Enter the hotel. Okay. Some people get the disease from the hotel. Also, some of the hotels are not clean. We have relaxed. The minister should reinforce what Mutahi Kake can do today and not tomorrow is to reinforce, close down supermarkets where you now walk in without even washing your hands. Go down, Medium, am I wrong? Go to Naivas.
The ones I go to, you have to sanitize and have your mask on. So I don't know which one.
There are many. Go to some of these supermarkets. Go to some of these hotels in Nairobi. I'm telling you, some of them don't even call you. The only good hotels that are very strict are the hotels in the coast. The Mombasa hotels managers are really perfect. That one I can give them a credit from the hotels that I visited on the coast. Medium, don't forget I've been there for. I told you the other time I was doing a survey. They tell you even when you go to the mask, if you go without a mask,
you have to wear a mask. Yes.
You go back. And you see some Africans coming back because they are wearing leso and this. Then I look at them like this. These ones, they have not seen the disease.
Doc, there's a question there that Sharon asked that I think it's very important. Perhaps it represents a lot of questions that Kenyans perhaps who have not even received the vaccination are asking themselves. And that is, she said, she knows 2 people who already were vaccinated, but went and contracted COVID-19. But Sharon, when you get the COVID-19 vaccination, it does not guarantee that you will not contract COVID-19 in case you come into contact with a person with COVID-19. But what the jab does, it boosts your immune system. So you're able to better fight the COVID-19.
The booster is 70%. It is 70%. It gives you 70%. So the rest, the 30%, you must be yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And there are 2 things that you must know here. And let's talk about this disease openly. If you have diabetes, if you have AIDS, if you have AIDS, all these other things that you cannot avoid because it is not you who makes them.
Underlying condition.
The only thing you can avoid is AIDS by actually being protective. If you want to have any interaction with anybody, there are condoms available. So that one, Miriam, you can avoid. The other one of diabetes, you can also avoid. But when it comes, it has come. So if you have those cancer, you can't avoid. You don't know. You can only know it is there. Once it has landed in you. Asthmatic. If you have those things, even when they have injected you, you are vulnerable because the cells are fighting several other. I'm not a doctor, but some of the things that I know.
Your immune system is compromised.
The immune system becomes weak.
Underlying conditions, but what the COVID-19 jab does, it boosts, it fortifies your immune system. So even if you get the COVID-19, it will not be as harsh on you because you're already protected.
Yes,
so that happens.
Exactly. So if you get the one acrom, is it acrom?
Omicron.
Omicron, whatever. It can be mild. It is not very dangerous like a Delta. So the best you can do is to go and vaccinate. Let's now be honest. Let's ask parents of homes. The minister should be putting an advert here every hour. They have that money. My dear, Miriam, show me on these TVs. Show me all the people who are on this television now. We should have an advert. It should be running. Look at a television in Uganda. NBS, one of the best televisions in Uganda. Every break, there is a doctor there. There is an advert running saying this disease can kill. Here we stopped advertising.
Doc, I'll give credit to one local station. I've seen K24 run, I've seen them run these ads.
I agree with you. The only station running is K24. The rest, Mungu Mbele. The rest, Mungu Mbele. So, where has the money for adverts gone? I am a great friend of Dr. of Mutahi Kagwe. I like him from the days of ICC. We have been struggling together. We met in The Hague, but some things now see, the user. That's why I say, I told him in my letter, I will not go there. I can't go to court, but some Kenyan will go to court. Change this thing quickly, clarify. I was not opposing. Miriam, I am not, and I want to say, my letter does not oppose that the government, it says go and vaccinate. But Mr. Minister, watch someone, this should have been done A, B, C, D. That's normal. I'm not a puppet. Yes, I have traveled four times into London. Yes. My friend, you can't step there when you are a locator. I am now telling you, you can't step there when the locator from London has come back. Do you know what they call locator? Go to Kenya Airways. People are now making even complications there. You find a group of people, a good line waiting for locator to come. If your locator does not come back successful,
you can't go.
And you have a PIN number, a reference number which is come from the ministry, from the Home Office, from the immigration of Britain. Nyenye wa Kenya tuanze kusema ya kweli nyenye kabisa. We can do that. We can do that. We can do that. But the people are waiting for President Uhuru to help them. Can't you do that simple IT? Are you not seeing what I'm saying? You were Songa, you are an IT expert here. And some people. It's very simple. We don't want to refuse people from coming here. We don't want. People can come. But before you arrive in Kenya, put a locator number. Link it with your system of the Ministry of Health, that you will be on the second day of arrival in Kenya. You will be going to some clinic, and that clinic will take your mouth and you open it widely. And your nose, they check you, and you produce another result. Miriam, utaona, everything will be okay. Even this disease, which is new, we can prevent it. This is why this is a community television station. We are not going to sit here and be telling people, then they tell us they are government officials, they are not doing the job. What is wrong with the Ministry of Health connecting a locator number? It answers back on your phone, and it says, let the Ministry of Health put that number, link it to this main computer, and they will monitor every Chinese or these ones who are running around the airport down there. No, give them locator number here. If the locator number, you don't have it, you don't step on Kenya Airways from Beijing to Nairobi. If you don't have a locator number, you don't step on Kenya Airways to London. So why are we not also, if you don't have a locator number, you don't arrive to Nairobi. You are left at Heathrow Airport. You hear me? Then you go and fill until all these testing centers. We have now about 10 testing centers in the UK, in Nairobi, isn't it? We have mid-test, we have Sijui, a famous one, we have another one, we have another one, we have another one, we have another one. We have about 10 now testing people. And that is how governments are managing COVID-19. A simple ID system. And then that tourist who is coming, if he has the disease, will not come. Or if he has it, the second day, the result will come and they will go for you. You hear me? Have you heard me, Miriam? They will come for you. When you are going back, they will catch you. In Britain, if you have not done a second test on the second day, walayamu, you can't climb that plane back. Wataku download, uingie kwa 10 hour in London, they don't allow you that you go home. Sasa hapo you have violated. Utaingia kwa tracker ya Ministry of Health, iko nje hapo na watu wamevaa kila kitu hapa. Sasa you a dangerous animal, you a criminal. Paka wakuchukue kwa hospitali, huko wakufungie for 14 days. That's a deterrent.
So the measures, they are very punitive. So what is wrong with us implementing the same here? Because the number, doctor, you've shared, that will work when we're having visitors coming in the country. But how about the local spread here that has become now a problem?
No, where does the local get the disease?
Yeah.
The disease travels with those planes.
But right now it's here. So
no, okay, it is here.
Yes.
It is here. But now, the way we are coming to the same question, which I've already answered,
Yes.
Okay, this is Christmas. The timing was wrong. It makes
no, but Kenyans have had time to go get their vaccination. So when the government is giving this directive,
forget Kenyans.
Consideration.
I support Mutahi, I support you, but Kenyans have a very bad mindset. And
that's why, Doc, we cannot keep giving excuses. Because if you knew you were going to on vacation and you needed to, you made all the plans and the payments, and the requirement was go get yourself vaccinated. And from the news we were reading in the morning, all hotels at the coast and all over the country are fully booked anyway. And if you knew you had that, and part of the requirement was make sure you're vaccinated, that should be it.
We have bad mindset. We blame Uhuru. Even what Uhuru cannot, Medium, why don't you talk the truth? We blame Uhuru everything.
I'm talking the truth. And something else about that hotel.
No, you have talked the truth. That's why I'm agreeing with you.
So those hotels have the right of admission. So if the requirement for you to stay in that hotel is to be fully vaccinated, that's it.
Yes, let it be. But me, I'm looking at the overall strategy. This is not going to continue. This is a temporary measure. We are looking. I am not disagreeing with what Mutahi did. I am saying an overall long-term strategy should be what I have just described. Use a locator number to prevent that disease from entering Kenya. Any passenger in South Africa, Johannesburg, Harare, Maputo, Dar es Salaam, before you enter the plane, you must have your locator number accepted by the Ministry of Health headquarters computer. And it is at the immigration. Mm-hmm. I have traveled to Europe 4 times. And if that locator does not click, my dear, if it doesn't click together with your passport, wacha! Uwezi kukanyaga huko. You cannot step in London if that locator number has not come back. Because you know what you are feeling. You are feeling an immigration form. It is a secretarial arrangement, the one Chebukati ran away from. On a Bumpy road to 2022. Chebukati from the sector. Matiang'i is on it. Home Secretary, my friend, the lady from Uganda, she is on it. She's in charge of immigration, and the police are on it. The form you are filling at Jomo Kenyatta Airport, going to Britain, all the departments are there. Even the one ya kulipa musoro ako hapo. Her Majesty's Customs and Excise pay the how much, whether you lipa musoro huko or not. Wako hapo wanakuchunguza. You see, Medium, as you fill the computer, the system there looks at, you say what is your house number? My house number is 2022. Okay, London Road. Aha. Wewe unaishi huko? Yes. Aha. You have you seen now? The land title na kila kitu inakuja hapo. You know you are not seeing the person who is approving your. Do you drive while you are in London? Yeah. What is your driving number, license number? Inauliza kila kitu. Because they want to know when you reach London, you might be mad with COVID and start driving to kill people. So kila kitu inakuwa hapo. So by the end, that they even put there a caveat. They don't warn you that is voluntary. They put what we call a caveat. Let me talk Ugandan English so the people can hear me. A caveat, which says, if you make false declaration here, this is what Mutahi should have done. You don't tell people that you have, no, you put there, you have already made a statement that it must be done. More is time. Don't tell them it is voluntary again. You have killed the first one. Tell them if you make any false declaration, you are liable to so much. You could be liable to both a fine and taken to court. So kama we na feel hii, unaambia you are Miriam when you are Wesonga, hapo you have already committed a crime. Mzungu hawezi kukuacha. Unafika Heathrow Airport, they are waiting at the plane na pingo. Unakupeleka. So, Mutahi Kagwe is right. But he should learn more, listen to more people. This disease is there, is very bad. But let's change simple things of IT, simple thing of ICT. I bet they will save us a lot. Our airplanes will fly every day. For example, in Dubai, my dear, do you know what you do? If you are coming from Dubai airport to come here, you go 4 hours in advance. In the morning, if your flight is at 2, you go like 8 o'clock. You give them the sample. By the time about 1 hour to your flight, the sample is back. Kama uko na hiyo kitu kwa mdomo, huwezi kutoka. Even if you are bored, your mother is going to wed the following day. Your wedding cake mutakulia uko ndani. We can do that here in Kenya and save people in Kenya. We can do that, a locator number. If the minister doesn't know what the locator number is, please, can I come and explain? We should not be, this thing is very bad. This COVID is very, very, very bad, media. It's very bad. It is not a joke. And I wouldn't like to see people with that thing. So when there is a way to prevent it, to help the government, let's help the government by saying, let the government of Republic of Kenya introduce the routes that they feel they have red routes. Red routes. A red route is the route that you suspect there is iko kitu inatokea huko. Sasa South Africa iko na president mwenyewe ameisha. Hiyo red route kabisa. Hiyo red route. Imeshika the president himself, even when he had already been vaccinated. And you see, so that South Africa is a red route to work, a red route locator. Before you climb a plane, Kenya Airways in Johannesburg, or Ethiopian Airways, or South African Airways, if it is coming here, you must give us a locator. And let the ministry employ 24 hours people where the locator comes so that he takes the locator and accepts and says, thank you very much. You have successfully completed the locator. Yes, the locator number. And your locator number is this. There, then you move to the counter. I swear, it is here. We do it for Britain, but we can't do it for ourselves. Have you seen the point we have? We do it for ourselves, for Britain. When we are going to Britain, we do the locator number. But when we are coming to Kenya, we come as if there is, we are going to buy chicken in Sungoi. Hey, which is very bad. Kila mtu anakuja as if they are going to buy. The Kenya government says, come with a PCR, 96 hours. No.
Doc, even those chicken in Sugoi, you can't just access them. You know, they have 24-hour security detail there protecting them. So you really can't.
I'm told people who guarded the chicken are Bazungu. I didn't know this.
Like
no,
that.
Honestly, they are Bazungu guarding this chicken. Someone told me very highly.
We have our GTU there guarding them, so you really can't access them. But Doc, I do understand what you're saying totally, and I agree with you. You know, everybody who's coming into the country, perhaps the government now should beef up its vigilance and its surveillance in terms of IT and employ technology, and see that everybody that comes into the country is safe. But I think the biggest headache lies within here in the country. And the caveat, you mentioned the issue of caveat, and that is what the government said. A fine is voluntary. However, if you want to access Kenyatta National Hospital, if you want to access public transport, SGR, you must be vaccinated. So I think that should be left in place. So that ruling that that was given, I think it's very disappointing. And I don't think if it has been made with the interest of public at heart. You can choose not to be vaccinated, but however, if you have to access certain, services, you're required to be vaccinated. This is for your own good. How can Kenyans not understand that?
Let me tell you, I want to leave others to contribute, but the medium, you asking a kid, the locator form of Britain, which I'm talking to you about, my dear sister, the locator form of Britain does not tell you that it's voluntary. The caveat doesn't say that. The caveat says, if you feel false information, we shall take you down. It's a crime. It says it is a crime to give false information on this form. And where they detect false information, the computer will not accept your locator. And therefore, Miriam, if you are going to Britain and you don't have a house, you don't live, you are going to the hotel, believe me or not, if you have not paid by your credit card, the amount of that money in that hotel, it will return the form. You have failed. You will not take the plane. So if you have a visa and you are going to United Kingdom, you must book hotel, Crown Plaza, Sheraton. The Sheraton gives you the booking reference and the payment of your credit card. Inakuja kwa hiyo. And this is one, the central computer in Britain, someone, they might be able, like 20 of them working. They are monitoring the whole world because they have put ICT in the system. This disease cannot be fought with threats only, because Mr. Mukagwe has tried threats. Kenyans don't listen to threats. They are very dangerous. They can even turn on you. You can see the way they insult me every day. Because I support President Uhuru Kenyatta and I defend the legacy. I am the most insulted man in this republic. I go home to my bed with 20,000 insults. 20,000 insults every day. Hippopotamus, big stomach, big head, big what? Every day, Miriam. At times I don't even eat food because I'm insulted by people like Magufuli, Benjamin, but who like Ruto up to the end. They love him. They can even wash Ruto's legs, which I cannot do. So people here don't listen. Then we go to the judges. We have a very dangerous judge. That judge is called Murima. He has now Murima did this one also. It's the same judge now, Murima. He has Rimad. He has Rimad this one. It's finished. The same man who wants to arrest, he might soon arrest the president. I think he will order the president to be arrested. He has Rimad this, Murima. I don't know where he came from. Yeah? Judge Murima has Rimad this. So that means we have to find a way quickly. And the best way that I am now negotiating to tell so that both sides come together is now for Mutahi Kagwe to come back and segregate those who have the certificates and those who don't have. Appeal quickly before 21st that it is set aside, and then allow the hotels to take one job with proof. And two, there is also something which we need to tell. Some of the people complain their certificates have never come. Miriam, do you have your certificate?
I do. I even have it printed.
Me, I have mine printed.
Yeah. I
have mine printed. I can, if I take off this and as you talk, I will bring it out. It's fully vaccinated. You see? But there is a problem here. For example, there is this card which says, oh, you arrived here, but you have not reported, you have never, someone is in the system, has already been printed, given vaccination, then the card is following you. Or something like on WhatsApp. So let's help the minister. It is a good thing. The law must be followed, protocols, emphasize the protocols. Your contribution shortly before we close. Let's start with Tawish. You got the certificate, Miriam?
Yeah, I have. Right here.
Aha! Yeah. Hallelujah.
So when you go to the airport.
Wait. Tawish, you have your certificate.
Mimi sina mzee.
Mr.
Nimefanya first nini na ngoja siku zimalizike nichukue second.
You are honest.
Yes.
So you are one of the side you umepatikana. You are not supposed to use any government vehicle.
Oh, no. He can use any. You can use
as long as you have proof of.
Yeah, you can use.
Yeah, so but that thing did not come out. You know, no, that's where Kenyans got confused. Yes.
CS Cargo is very clear. So let's not mix up. CS Cargo is very clear. As long as you have proof of at least one vaccination, you can access the facilities. But it is the hotels now who, because they have the right of admission, who are saying, we need two. But the government said, as long as you have proof of one, then you can access this.
The letter by the hotel says you must have two.
That is the hotel. That is the hotel's position, not the government's position.
So whom do we take down on this one? Do we
the
take
hotels
the hotel?
are private entities, and hotels have a right
of admission or to deny you admission.
So that is what they require of you. So if you don't want to stay there, then go somewhere else. You don't have
to. Where? Somewhere.
And the River Road. Come on, lazima ukuwe na tu. Kama
I cannot imagine Daktari on River Road. There's a story he used to tell us about Mulima. Unakumbuka mzee?
Yes,
this is wonderful story about River Road.
Daktari. The story about River Road and Mulima chapati mbili Mulima rusha.
Yes. Miriam, you are reminding me of what I went through. Oh, wait first. My sister, you have done something that can make you cry here.
Mulima hapa
Wesonga. You people, you the panel, I want to tell you something very interesting. 1985, after the overthrow on 27th July, we arrived in Nairobi in July on Saturday in Kenya. Now, one of the best hotels that were available in 1985, apart from the only hotels that were available that you can book and enjoy were the following: Intercontinental Hotel, Hilton Hotel, 680, Stanley Hotel, and this hotel here, what is it called? The one of these towers, Lilian Towers. And then the best Nyama Choma place was and then Hotel
Towers, yes.
The one Hotel Boulevard.
Sagret.
Then Sagret. If you don't appear.
How about Sagret?
No, yeah, the Sagret, yes. If you don't appear around those hotels, then you are nothing, nobody in Kenya. You must be seen walking with the Mwangares. Yes, you must be seen walking with Tangulas, the Simiyu advocates, these tough high, the Muites, the Mathakaruas under Serena Hotel there. It was not called even Serena, it was called another name. I think, yes, it was Serena. Now, there was a famous hotel on River Road, which sells very good bones. The nyama ya bones, mulima na chapati. You know, it is, you know that meat which they cut with the bones, there is meat on top of the bones, and the inside there is that mafuta.
Bone marrow.
So, there is a hotel up to today. At the times every year I drive around that road to look at that building. And the food was costing 1 shilling. 1 shilling and 50 cents for 2 chapatis and a mulima. So the waiters and the waitress there were experts. And you sit like this. Unasikia mulima mbili na chapati, woohoo! And you know they carry the plate like 5 of them medium. Mulima chapati, so you have to sit on the. I'm telling you, you have to take a cover as this man passes with the soup, but the soup never pours on you. I don't know how they used to do it. So when you tell me about River Road today, remind me about 20, how many years, 37 years past. I remind myself of River Road, that in Dr. Matanga to be seen in that place, that I have lacked sleeping because there is no certificate. I rather remain in my small house, wherever I am. So even now on our show here, you can see the inequality we have created. I don't want to ask Sharon because she will tell me the same. She has been vaccinated fully, isn't it, Sharon?
No, I have one. I took one. I've just taken one vaccination.
No,
I did.
Oh, yeah. So you can just don't go to Serena because they need to. No, but Miriam, there's something you talked about the SGR, and I was wondering, SGR had actually been fully booked way even before December.
Yeah, but now places are there.
No, how does that go? Probably if these people call out and they are not allowed to actually access the SGR, and I'm sure they're not going to refund because this is one of a government entity, and people, that's the only means because some cannot afford to maybe to travel using flights or any other mode of transport.
Let me tell you. Let me ask another one. Wesonga, are you fully vaccinated? Yes.
Yes, Dr. Matsanga, I'm fully vaccinated. And
yes.
I also, like just like Miriam, I also have a certificate.
Show
Though
it
not,
to us. Hapana kuzungumzia nyuma, iko wapi?
I think I'll have to print it from my portal.
You see the hotel where you are going, they are not interested in the portal. They don't want to hear portal. They want to hear the real thing.
No,
the real thing.
You can, because there's some whatever there that can be, because even this, see this, they will scan to see if it's to verify. So even on your phone, they can still scan it from your phone to verify. All right. Yeah. It's very difficult.
I better pull out mine.
You better
pull out mine. The same.
Good for you.
If it is generated from the Ministry of Health.
Yes.
It is the same. So now here we have proved that, you see that I want to make a point closing case that if this is where we are a small family of punchline. You can see the type of apartheid we have.
There's no
wait, Miriam, why are you cutting me?
It's a choice. The vaccine is there. It's a choice. If somebody decided to go late, it's their choice. If somebody has not been vaccinated, it is their choice. As far as we are concerned.
Miriam, did you know that all Africans are reactive? There is no African who is proactive.
Dawa iko, when you're umechelewa tu, lakini dawa iko. Apartheid is when you've been denied. You have not been denied in this case.
You know how much this is the month. This is the month that we are fighting violence in the homes. Domestic violence has started now. There are homes where a wife is not, a husband is vaccinated, or the wife is vaccinated and the husband is not. And we are about to go to holiday, which we have all worked for. You know, unlike Kenya, in Britain, the money is worked for by two of you. Except Matanga, I don't see my wife's bank statement. I've never seen it for 45 years. I don't ask. She buys me a shirts, good things. I find them lied already in the house at the end of the year for Christmas, but I've never seen her bank statement, which is not very useful for Ugandans to follow Bibi, Besaya Bibi. Ugandans pay their way out and they pay for their ladies. That's why our ladies wash our hands, legs, and they give us jacuzzi and a sauna. Miriam, I can see the way you are looking down that way. I'm only trying to promote my culture that the Ugandan ladies are very, very good. When you come, they remove the shoes and the socks. And don't look at me like I will be shy to speak. Let me leave it. Miriam, that is true. The Ugandan lady, before you sit down after a long day between me and my sister Sharon and you, I want to tell you the truth. That's why people die with Ugandan ladies. Anatoa biato yako, anatoa socks zako, anakupatia maji kwa besani. That karaya, ile ya meto. Unaona Sharon is looking upstairs. She doesn't want even to hear. That is where the problem is. That is where the problem. Mr. Wesonga defended the boy child, but and Tawish.
Every man in Kenya, every man for himself and God for us all.
Now you see.
So it can't work. It cannot work here.
I think,
but you realize, Sharon,
let me tell you, I'm introducing talk show on radio. And very soon our radio is going to, starting from next week, Miriam, our radio is like this. And the song is not going to hide again on radio punchline that with his voice we hear him from there. We shall hear him here. So we would like Sharon to come and say that a man for himself and the area for Yadi. You kuja kwa radio hiyo tukubomoe, tutabomoa your argument kabisa. Ugandan ladies do a lot of good things. They remove your shoes, they remove your socks, they get you hot water, as they have prepared very organized food, which is smelling while your legs are in the basin. Here, some of the ladies open the door and they say, "We matanga, we chakula iko hapo, tafuta." Aki ya Mungu, sasa kesho takununulia kitetei namna gani? Siwezi. Tawish, what's your experience? Maybe I might be blowing my trumpet, but what is the experience? Because you have married near Uganda border, and the culture of the Itesots is almost the same as the culture of across the bridge in our country. Comments? Why I've put you in the catch 22? Tawish, you have killed. We can't hear anything from you.
Well, I think, Dr. what you are saying to some extent is correct. But again, the issue of culture and upbringing and such kind of things is just like in the Maasai culture today. A Maasai woman has no problem, for example, a man marrying another wife or a second or a third wife. Because even most of them from where they have come, it is. I'm just giving examples.
Thank you, Tawish, for bringing out
examples. I'm just giving examples of tradition.
To ask what Tawish has asked. Thank you so much, Tawish.
Sorry, I'm saying this is not about me. I'm just talking about generally as the Maasai culture. I mean, a Maasai lady and how they have been brought up, the culture they have been used to, they understand. It is no big problem for a man, for example, to marry a second or a third wife or even a fifth wife. It is not a big issue, and the woman will not raise a finger really. But you see now with maybe different cultures, different ethnic groups in the, of course, in the society where we live today, it is not the same. I mean, a lady will find it a big problem that you are marrying a second wife, for example. But in the Maasai culture, it's a normal thing, and even a woman really appreciates it. I mean, because they know, even from where they've come from, most of them really have come from a polygamous family. And it's just the Maasai tradition, and it's no big deal about it. The same way Dr. Masanga is speaking about, of course, Uganda. And the Ugandan ladies, for example, even when they are serving you water or even food, they'll have to go down on their knees. I know how even when they greet you, they cannot greet you while standing, the women from that side of this land. I mean, it is the tradition, the culture, they have been brought up understanding like that. But you cannot say the same of maybe other traditions or say that in Kenya. But it's not that the Kenyan women maybe are not appreciative of their husbands. It's only that they have not been brought up to understand they have to go down on their knees to serve you water or food, or even remove the remove socks and maybe serve you with give you hot water for a shower. Dr. Masamba, but some of the things really shouldn't be more of tradition or culture. It is something that must just be inculcated as you grow. Maybe as women, I think I have my sister say, I can see how they are starting, waiting anxiously maybe to rain on me that
Tawish, you can see how Miriam is looking at you. That's why I was even afraid. I was even afraid of talking anything. And then you can see the way Sharon is looking upstairs. She doesn't want to hear anything. Any contribution outside there, call us on telephone number 0795 638 145. Wesonga, how is it in your house? Does the woman, your wife, welcome you? Remove your shoes.
No,
wait. Remove your shoes.
As long as at home. You want to set him up, Doc?
Miriam, I think Doc is very correct. And having that ourselves, we come from the border and we've intermarried, we have families on both sides. Actually, that is what happens, you know. And you find that in our village, in 1 out of every 3 homes, we have someone who is married from Uganda, and that is what they do. Even greetings, if the husband comes at home, the woman goes down on one knee and greets the husband, and whatever Doc is talking about is actually very correct. So I think our society, our Kenyan women, if they will go such a step high, then you realize that there will be a change. And even for me, when I speak about Busia, a majority of our men are actually married, have married women from Uganda. And it's simply because of what Doc is talking about.
The good behavior. You go and eat this food when you are very relaxed. Lakini anafungua mlango anasema wewe Matanga, chakula iko hapo kwa meza, tutaonana kesho. How will I go? You have worked so hard. And akia Mungu nyenye mkue very. Ladies, you ladies on this show, be very considerate. Also to us, we men, we are supposed to go out and look for money. We are supposed to go out and you don't want to be removed out of your house. The rent, the what, all these things. If you come home and you don't have any support, even somebody to say thank you very much, welcome my husband.
But I also and I have a career, so I don't know, and Sharon too. So maybe you're addressing the wrong people.
Yeah, no, it is not the wrong people. It is you actually, the educated ones who have career, who have a problem.
No, that is wrong.
You have lost the African touch.
That is stereotyping, and it's wrong.
No, you have lost the African touch. You know why so many...
So I should not go to school, I should not have a career. Is that what the African touch...
Do you know why there are so many marriages breaking down today?
Come on.
Yes, let's talk about it, my sister. There are so many marriages breaking down because people don't listen to some small things.
Well, Doc, but submission doesn't have to be manipulation. And the issue about empowerment, and you see, when you're talking about culture, those are the days whereby, women were thought to be, stay at home wives, and then your man has to go out and look. But at this era, women have, gotten empowered. Women are learned. So, I believe we all have to go out there and look for work and look for something to put food on the table. So it doesn't mean that I have to come and do whatever things that you're actually talking about. On the other hand, if I speak about people from Mount Kenya, where I actually come from, and to be specific, coming from Meru, if you actually go to Google, they say that women from Meru actually come with a 22-year guarantee, and after these 22 years, if this person does not please you, you actually have the right to take them back. So, and from where I come from, I've not seen these kind of things at you have to kneel and wash their hands and all that kind of thing. I mean, I think that is just a culture. No, Doc, I'm not supporting that. Even from my own family, if I speak from my own family, my parents have been together for over 30 years, and I've never seen such kind of, such kind of cultures that you're actually talking about, and they have lived together, ever happily ever after.
I think when it comes to culture, but I respect what the Ugandan women do because it's part of their culture. I am not against it. They can kneel, they can wash their feet. It's fine. That is part of their culture. So I respect it, and it's all good. Also, you have a culture. So you can't impose another culture on another people.
We are not imposing.
One thing.
No. Gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen,
because it appears that is the barometer now you're using. If you want to be a woman, you have to watch the feed. I'm not doing that.
Medium, wait.
That's manipulation.
Medium, please.
I can cook, and I love to cook.
Yes, wait. My sister, wait. This topic emanated from bad mindset. It is you who brought this topic.
It is not me.
No, no. You said Kenyans have their own problems. They are themselves to blame.
Yes, and they do. That is a completely
no, wait. I have not forgotten the thread where we ended up here bringing in the Ugandan example. If you have bad mindset that you oppose everything that the president brings out, you will oppose even your own husband, even if he's 22 years.
Those are different things, Doc.
Yeah, they are not different. It's the same behavior.
Culture is different.
It's not different. What is the culture of, if you have a bad mindset? They said the vaccination is plenty in the hospital. You have refused to vaccinate. You wanted the minister to come to legislate, to put a draconian law. Then you run to the hospital. 2, every election here, Chebukati put their ballot papers. He said there are people, registration books. For the whole 2 months, people did not go. The last minute when Chebukati says it is now, tomorrow is the end, then there were queues. There was a long queues, people going to vote. Look, people in Kenya don't wake up at 5 to vote. People go wait at around 4 o'clock. Then everybody runs to the queue, and then you find several queues behind people waiting to vote. We have a wrong behavior. That's when I came in and I said, unlike in our country, it becomes from the culture. For example, our country, a wife respects a daughter. My daughter does not greet while standing. We are not equal. I will not greet you. While standing on me, who is my daughter? Unakuja, how are you, David? Mimi, David, I am equal with you, David. You have to stand, bow down, hi, Dad. Then I can even now pull the 20 shillings and I say, Kesho, go to school. Impetus, incentive to go for her. But when you see, Miriam, the other day we are talking about the TV, how digital platforms have spoiled our children. You find a child in a home. I'm making a case here, Jermaine, where we have bad mindset starting from our children. A child tells you, where, Mom, you can go to sleep, I'll switch off the TV. Excuse me? And that the TV has no control for bad films. Then you find you wake up at 2 o'clock, you find your child still on TV. But when he hears the noise, he switches off because he was watching something where guns are involved. Then now was watching something on how to go and burn a school, how to stand in a ceiling. Then the teacher comes, he falls on the teacher. And they say, that's a tactic. Yeah, they do that. They practice all those things. They learn them from the TV. That's why I brought in this issue that our women, for example, in Uganda, they remove our socks, our shoes, give you a therapy when you have come back nicely. But when you are an abusive husband, you are not, those things are not done for you. Miriam, are you hearing me? They are not. They only do those things to good husbands. There are some abusive husbands who come before you put down the handbag, your bag with the files, you have started slapping your wife. There are abusive husbands who prey on women, beat up women. Those are the type of people who are never given a chance in a good home. But if you are a good husband and you treat your wife very nicely, in our culture, she will actually give you hot water in karaya. It's called a karaya. I think, Miriam, you grew up with that metallic basin, karaya. Or for you grew up in a plastic one. Yes, me, I grew up in a place where even jiggers bite me. So I have to admit here that it is very good to come from a place. I don't want to behave like a Ruto who admires people's shoes. That because he grew up when he didn't have shoes, have you seen his behavior has become so bad, even up to today? That's the type of behavior I'm talking about. He feels that Kenyatta is a very bad man because Kenyatta had shoes. His father bought Kenyatta shoes, but his father did not buy him shoes. He told you in Park Hotel here, Safari Park Hotel. He said he went to Onyango's shop. The first time he wore butter shoes. But speaking about that as we close, Remy Obama says, can I read it for the shock of Miriam? Remy Obama says, truthfully, it is the whole Africa continent. Men are free to have more than one wife in the understanding of the natural spirituality of Africa for Africa content for our fathers. What? That one, Sharon has already switched off. She can't manage to be in a marriage where a man is supposed to marry 2 wives or more. Back to Stephen, can you bring that video to conclude as we go home? Then Miriam can conclude the session. It is only a minute video or 1.5. Bring the video.
Now, this is where Kenyans need to be told. I hate to see a situation in which a free and fair election is carried out. William Ruto seems to be the winner, and somebody tries to play the hanky-panky business that was played on Baba in 2013 and 2017. Mm-hmm. Then you don't have a Kenya. Take it from me. You get my point? Mm-hmm. You don't have a Kenya. It's gone. It's gone to hell. It's gone to bloody hell. I can assure you that. And we know it. The people who forced the coalition government last time were not the Luos, they were not the Luyas, they were not the Somalis, they were the Kalenjins. The Kalenjins. Yes. And you think you can steal a Kalenjin's vote in Kenya? Okay. Everybody knows. People of my age and above knows. You can't. Wow, so the best thing is beat him fair and square. Beat him fair and square. And that can only be done if there's a serious coalition that comes together. But to assume that you're going to use the deep state the way it was used in 2007 and 2013 and 2018, and then we will just mess a bit with Kibera, where the railway line goes, and we throw stones, and then we do the same also in we do the same also in Kisumu and other places, and you expect those people to do that? We all know our country. Okay. We know our country. And we know what everybody is capable of doing. It's like assuming that somebody is going to use force in Mogadishu. Nobody can use force in Mogadishu. Even if it's the smallest clan, you can never use force on those pastoralists. The Kalenjins are exactly the same. There's no difference between us and them. So to try and steal Ndegwa, the votes of William Ruto, forget it. It's gone. There will be no country. So any child, because some of these people right now who are in a serious government business and in positions are people who were born after independence. And people who have no ability to fathom some of these things. And you think you can just give orders and the police is going to listen to you, the administration police and everybody else. No. Let us do a clean job this time around and save this country. And I agree, let Raila and Oka and Uhuru, let's all come together. Let's look for the safe exit out of these things. You know, and even with that kind of an alliance or a massive alliance, if still William Ruto comes in, so be it. Let him be the president. I'm not going to run away myself. I know of my friends who say they'll be on the next flight, basically, while the tally is going on.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have been looking at the topic which took us through the vaccination process, and we encourage you people, all of you across the continent of Africa and across Kenya, to go for vaccination. It is the only way that you can save your lives. It is the only way that you can stop that invisible disease from coming to your family. It is the only way you can stop the spread of this disease. Don't sit home. Don't allow yourself to think that it is not worth it. Try, get a vaccination. One jab will save your lives. We are in concurrent with what the government is putting forward, but we were only bringing out some things that would help the government in strengthening some of these things. Like the government of Kenya should bring what we call a locator system, a locator form system. Any visitor coming to Kenya must be on a central computer system filled from the place of embarkment when he wants to embark the plane to come to Kenya. If the locator system does not work, that is my takeaway now. If the locator system does not work, mark that one, Stephen, from where I began. If the locator system does not work, does not answer you that you come to Kenya, don't come, because it is the only way the British people are checking on people who want to come. When you reach Britain, on the second day, you must take a test, a PCR form certificate to show you are okay, you don't have any disease. That is the way we can solve the matter of vaccination. Otherwise, we are going to end up in this court, fighting the court, and the court fighting us, which it does not like. The courts in Kenya don't like President Uhuru Kenyatta. That's first facts. And they don't like the government at all. They make decisions that hurt the government, yet some of these things are very good. On this second flank, the Bumpy Road, my sister Miriam can now summarize that tape for herself and see how careless our brothers are threatening others. Mr. Farah Malum was a former deputy speaker of National Assembly. For him to come to national television and speak that rubbish, it is so sorry that I have no respect anymore for what he has spoken, because I used to respect him, but I don't think I am able to respect him again. Do you know what is talked in summary is called Stockholm Syndrome? Stockholm Syndrome is to threaten people, to call people. That's why Ruto is using Stockholm Syndrome tactics of violence, of threatening that if you don't vote me, we shall kill all the Kikuyus, or we shall do all this to other Kalenjins, or we shall do this to Luos. That one should never and never be part of a language in Kenya. Back to you, Miriam, in the studios in Nairobi.
All right, Doc. My Wi-Fi seems not to be very stable, so maybe I will not say much because it will affect, everything else. But I think perhaps Daniel or Sharon.
I can finish for you.
Yeah, you do that. Okay.
Yes, let me finish for you. In a nutshell, the road to 2022, we shall continue to expose the pitfalls of insanity that lie on this road. As long as Mr. Chebukati is still on these elections, on this as a chairperson, we shall not have a free and a fair elections in Kenya. I have been single-handedly saying that with my panel. All of them agree. There are so many potholes on this road. I want to thank all of you on this tape video. I think the government should look at ways of curbing that type of violence talkers, like Mr. Farah Malum, who is Ruto's supporter. He wants to jump there. He has moved from ODM to Wiper to Northeastern Party. Now he's in Wiper halfway. I think he now wants to go to UDA. He is even telling us that you can't threaten even people in Mogadishu, a small clan in Mogadishu. Then he is a violent man. I can conclude that he is a very violent man. And I think I am not wrong, but I think part of the violence we are receiving, if these are the leaders, then we have a very big problem for this country, United Kingdom, for this country called a Republic of Kenya. And I thank you very much, Miriam. I thank you, Sharon. I thank you, Samuel. I thank you, Daniel. I thank you, the studio, and all other people technically who have been doing their work on social media and who have been strategizing. I want to take this opportunity to thank our satellite system that has picked us all along throughout in Germany, in Berlin. Thank you very much. I think today it was it on there, Stephen? We must have been there on the first time. Yes. Yes, the satellite system. We want to thank you all, those connecting us from Berlin. Thank you very much. I will return very soon with Radio Punchline Africa. Miriam, it is going to be very interesting. Today I've seen you can debate. You can debate on these issues. And it doesn't stop you. I'm encouraging you. You see the points you made. You could have had a very big crowd following you now. And we can make a big crowd with Sharon and you, and we talk about these issues. Because you scored several points on the question of Uganda. Culture cannot be imposed. Culture grows. But there's one word you said, my dear. You said, we have very bad mindset. And the only man who can treat us well is Mutahi Kagwe. He say, Christmas huwezi kupangikwa. Is it kupangikwi? Wakenya judge Mrima said, huwezi kutupanga kupangikwi. I don't know that word in Swahili is called what, kupangikwi. You can arrange us. So Mrima, the judge who sentenced the DCI director, is at it again. He has now come up with this one. It is going to land him in very huge trouble. But I'm told good news this morning, all hotels on the coast are full booked. Yeah, one hotel is charging 80,000 shillings per night. If you are two, a couple, so try to go one. If you are a single parent, go one with the baby is acceptable. 80 pounds per night. Why? I will be in Hyatt Hotel in Dar es Salaam, Republic of Tanzania. Muungano. Wesonga, can you say that word Otawish? Muungano. Jamhuri ya Muungano
wa Tanzania.
Wa Tanzania. Itakuwa kwa Mama Suluhu. Tutakuwa Christmas kwa Mama Suluhu. One of the relatives told me I can be welcomed in one of those hotels. Asante sana Miriam. Kwa hivyo, inaomba tafadhali niondoke. Niwawachie nafasi ya kutengeneza vyombo kama tunangojea wafundi wa mitambo kutoka headquarters za Punchline Africa. From me, this side, this station is for Africa, by Africa, with Africa. By the way, before you finish, Stephen, can you play something? I don't know whether you have it. Play the new one. There's something very interesting for Miriam and all of you before you go. You have it. If you don't have it, I send you. Something very interesting. It is not ready. You haven't got it. Oh, it is very interesting. I wanted to see what Miriam was saying. You have said something very, not yet. Okay, you are not. The production team down in the satellite said they are not yet ready. And our satellite time is getting over. Thank you very much. God bless you. Thank you very much, Remy Obama. Thank you very much, Magufuli Benjamin. Thank you very much, Essien Huyu. Thank you very much, Omi Penny. Thank you very much, Branch Opa. Thank you very much, Moses Chikwama Onyehomo Mwere. Thank you very much, Branch, and thank you very much, all of you who have been watching us across the globe. Thank you very much. We return again tomorrow at exactly 10 o'clock with a new show on Kenya and a new show across the globe. This station is for Africa, with Africa, by Africa. Ciao.